Are students in Harvard happier or more depressed than average college students? Sean Archer, in a book called The Happiness Advantage, tells us that students in Harvard are actually considerably more depressed than students around the country. Tal Ben-Shahar, a very influential writer about positive psychology, taught a course in Harvard that had the highest attendance of any course in Harvard's history. Over 1,300 people signed up for his course on happiness. Why would students be more depressed in Harvard than other colleges? Sean Archer makes the following observation, which I think we can learn a lot from. And he says that who gets accepted to Harvard? Usually it's people, a student who is the smartest in their class, somebody who is the brightest in the highest school in their town or city. Their sense of self often comes not because of an internal driven place, a place of their own work, but rather because of a comparison to people around them. I'm smarter than everybody else around me. And then they go to Harvard, and everybody else is just as smart or smarter than them. And as soon as they get accepted to Harvard, they're extremely excited and happy. But once they're there, they often can get depressed. In order to try to stop this depression, one of the things that Sean Archer would do when he was the dean of one of the student dorms is he would take 1,000 random students, take them, freshmen, into a room, and he would say to them, I'm going to make a prediction. And they're like, and he says, my prediction is that 99% of people in this room will not graduate in the top 1%. And it's like a dagger to their heart because they're so used to graduating in the top 0.001%. I think that with this, we can learn a lot about why we're not happy today often as a society and where true happiness comes from. One of the reasons I think we're not happy is because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people, whether it's through social media or in many other ways. When true happiness, we know, is found inside of ourselves. Somebody once summarized our society today that we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't know. We are constantly putting happiness outside of ourselves. When I reach that next stage in life, then I'll be happy. And then ironically, when we get to that stage, we look back before and we're like, oh, that was the good times. And we're constantly putting it outside of ourselves. It's interesting, in the Torah, one of the 10 commandments is not to be jealous. And we know the 10 commandments are very, very important. All the Torah is important, but the 10 commandments are extremely important. And the last one of the 10 commandments is not to be jealous. That commandment mirrors, according to some, the first commandment of having emunah and faith in God. And I saw a beautiful explanation. Because when a person is jealous, it means that they're lacking faith. Because if I had truly had faith in Hashem, in creating me, then I say, as the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avot, B'shili nevar ha'olam, the whole world should have been created just for me, with my challenges, with my strengths. This is who I am, and I don't have to look at anyone else. If I'm jealous or envious and wishing I was somebody else or had somebody else's things, I am lacking an internal sense of purpose and meaning. And ultimately, this comes from a lack of faith as well. Rabbi Aaron Karliner says a beautiful idea on the words of the Shema, B'chol levavecha. We say we serve God with all of our heart, and it's plural. And Rashi, in the explanation, says, why is it plural? One of the explanations of Rashi is B'shnei yitzircha. The other one is Shelo yehelibcha chaluk el hamakom, that your heart should not be in a fight with God. And Rabbi Aaron Karliner says, why does it use the word makom for God? It's a rare name for God. And he says a beautiful explanation, Shelo yehelibcha chaluk el hamakom, that b'chol levavecha, to serve God with all your heart, means that you serve Him from where you are, that you're not in a fight with your place in life, where if I only had somebody else's money, somebody else's place, if I was born in a different time, if I didn't have this or if I did have this, then I would be happy. Then I'd be able to serve Hashem from simcha. On the contrary, b'chol levavecha means you serve Hashem from where you are. And if we can learn to appreciate our internal value and our internal sense of self, versus comparing ourselves to others, we can find a true sense of meaning and lasting happiness. Wishing all of you a meaningful Yom Tov, a holiday full of simcha, of joy, of an internal peace and connection.